Hello and welcome to the 28th Annual Vermont International Festival. We're delighted that you chose to join us for a 3-day celebration of cultures from all over the world. My name is April Werner.
And I'm Ben Bergstein.
And we founded this festival a long time ago in 1992, and we have been directing it and coordinating it ever since.
This year is a little different than the past years where we've had the festival in open space with lots of people, with lots of things going on at once. This year it's virtual, and I think all of us at this point know what that means. We've had to pre-tape a lot of things. We've had to bring in videos from other performances at other times with the people that normally perform for us live. It's also difficult to get food this year, although you can. It's just not the variety and not on the spot. You have to order it and pick it up here in Winooski, where we're located at this point. As far as crafts go, you can still get them. We have some vendors who have the ability to put together a video to show you what they have at a place where you can buy it.
And it's very easily accessed. All of the different areas of the festival are right across the front of the homepage of this website. We're going to start our program tonight with a set of Irish music performed by Anthony Santoro and his accompanist, Scott Lemire. We've known Anthony for a really long time. Anthony joined our dance group, Folk Kids of Vermont, when he was in middle school, and he got his love for traditional music, I think, I hope, from the experiences he had with us. We traveled around the world in those years with different folk kids groups, and he was lucky because his group got to go to Indonesia. So anyway, we're thrilled that he's with us, and we can't wait to have you enjoy his music as well.
Thank you very much. Those were some jigs, and they were called, the first jig was called the Shannon Bells, and then the Donnybrook Fair, and Garrett Berries. And that probably doesn't sound, I don't know what it sounds like to you guys, but it maybe for Scott and I, just some perspective, we're part of a relative living tradition that there's thousands of tunes. And so for playing for half an hour is an interesting philosophical set of choices. What do you play? You know. So we'll play some hornpipes, and hornpipes are a time signature that is in 4/4 but swung in a very particular way and played at a particular tempo. So anyway, the Chief O'Neill's hornpipe, which is a pretty famous fellow and a famous hornpipe as well, and then another little hornpipe called the Plains of Boyle. Blackbird is it does, I'm sure it does have words, I don't know what the words are, but it would have been code for Bonnie Prince Charlie. At a given time, his sort of code name would have been the Blackbird. And I don't know if that's what this reference is, I assume that, I've heard that before, but I don't know that for a fact. I wasn't there, so. Thank you very much. You've been very attentive. Anyway, you've heard enough of the obscure stuff, so we'll do some regular.
Do 2 times through, maybe.
one of the most difficult things to do when you're presenting a festival is paying for it. Now, we figured out how to make the videos, and we got people to donate their time as performers. We got everything together, and now we have to get the fundraising part together.
We've discovered that running an arts organization during a pandemic is one of the most challenging things you could ever do. And if at this time, in this particular year, you could see your way to giving us a donation, it would make all the difference to this organization.
Before, April mentioned that we've been working with children's dance and music groups for a long time. Folk Kids was our main interest for years. And more recently, we've been working with the groups from the refugee communities. One of the major groups that we've been working with is the group from Nepal, or Bhutanese group from Nepal. We have classes here, and we invited them to give us a show of some of the dances that they do. And they'll explain a lot about themselves and their dances coming right up.
Namaste. My name is Rustika Gurung, and I'm a member of the BNCH dance group, which is Bhutanese Nepalese Cultural Heritage Dance Group. And I am a full-time student, and yeah.
Hi, my name is Isha Kale, and I'm also a member of BNCH dance group. I go to Nuske High School.
Hi, my name is Binay Kharka. I'm also a member from this dance group, BNCH dance group, and I go to Hunt Middle School. This dance group started up way back in like 2016. It was just me, my dad, and my dad's old teacher back in Nepal. They decided to make a dance group to help show our culture off more, and we kept going on. We had different teachers, and then a third teacher. They were the students. They were like the assistants, and they came and they started teaching us.
Me and Isha, we joined in 2017 with Niru Siwakwati. She is our teacher. She's the leader of the group. The purpose of this dance group is to teach younger kids and other people more about our culture, and also to teach kids to not forget our heritage and where we came from.
This dance group was not only just a dance group, we were also family. We felt like we were family because we were so close, closer than other people. We weren't just dance teachers and students, we were sisters and family.
In the beginning it was kind of weird, but then we got comfortable, and then now it's yeah.
Now we have sleepovers a lot.
The group dance that we did is called Gari Bakutsamili. It's basically poor people in a village who don't have anything really,
and gather up and just have
dance and stuff. They have rent to pay for their houses, and then they're not having enough money to pay.
That's basically what we're it's about, just how we're poor and stuff, but then put in dance. doing it solo. It's called Sirima Sirbandi. Sire means like head, and Sirbandi is like a headpiece you put on. And yeah, that's basically what it's about. It's about like a girl with all of her costumes on, and she's just dancing and having fun.
I'm doing a solo dance. Song of the name is Darpanchaya, which means a girl and boy who meets. It's like destiny. Like they met each other for like they were made for each other, and then so Darpanchaya means also like chaya means reflection. It's mostly in on the water. So they were made for each other. Yeah.
Hizo means yesterday and Rati means night. So yesterday night, it's basically like a love song about a female like explaining how like she saw the man, whoever she's in love with, in her dreams last night, and like it goes on and on like life is short, like let's be lovers and all that.
हिजो राति तिमीलाई देखे सपनीमा हे हिजो राति तिमीलाई देखे सपनीमा कस्तो संजोग भेट भयो आजै विपनीमा धरुधरमा ढाकेको छैन मैले तिम्रै कसम खाए भेट्ने भने नडाँडा काटेर मागे सुने माया भेट्ने भने नडाँडा काटेर मागे सुने माया पश्चिमेली देखे मैले पूर्वेली देखे पश्चिमेली देखे मैले पूर्वेली देखे मनले खाको झन् पनि भाको यही ठाउँमा भेटे धरुधरमा ढाकेको भए हजुर मरि जाउँला यो जुनी मात्रै होइन जुनी आउँला सुन माया यो जुनी मात्रै होइन जुनी आउँला सुन माया ख्यालैमा बस्यो है माया यो मेरो कलेज छेउमा झन्डाएर जान्छु झन् माया लाग्छ बसौँ है माया छेउमा आजलाई छुट्टी भइगयो बेला झल्को यो तस्बिरले भेटाउँला नमरे बाँचे पिरती साँचे मायालाई फेरि भेटौँला नमरे बाँचे पिरती साँचे मायालाई फेरि भेटौँला नमरे बाँचे पिरती साँचे मायालाई फेरि भेटौँला।
Next on the program is Marcy Hernandez. Marcy's a singer-songwriter from this area. She's very strongly influenced by her Puerto Rican background, and the songs that she sings tonight are going to tell you a lot about the experience of Puerto Ricans in their home country and also when they come to mainland U.S.
You know, this isn't the first time we've had Marcy in a program.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this may be the first of the festival, but we had this Latin program music in Studio A, and she sang there. And she's also very well known as a music therapist.
Yes, I've heard that.
Yep. So let's see what she's got.
Hey everybody, my name is Marcy Hernandez and I'm a singer-songwriter based out of Burlington, Vermont. I'm really excited to be a part of the Vermont International Festival this year. And I want to share a few songs that are meaningful to me and my cultural heritage. I am of Puerto Rican descent. Both of my parents immigrated from Puerto Rico to the United States. I spent a lot of my childhood taking trips to Puerto Rico, and we often would go around the holiday season to the island to celebrate with family and friends. So this first song that I'm going to play is a holiday song. There's a tradition in Puerto Rico during the holidays called parrandas. And what a parranda is, it's sort of the Puerto Rican version of Christmas caroling. People go around house to house and they bring a lot of instruments like this guiro that I have. They'll also bring maracas and tambourines, all kinds of percussion instruments, and you'll often hear a cuatro, which is a Puerto Rican string instrument similar to the guitar. People will just sing and dance and have a great time and bring music to their friends and their families. So this song is called Dame la mano paloma, which literally is translated to give me your hand, dove. The interesting thing about some of the Puerto Rican holiday songs is that they often talk about nature, and they sometimes don't even mention the holidays in the song. They'll talk about things like the birds and the animals, or they'll talk about heartbreak, but they have traditionally been incorporated into the holiday season. So this song in particular was written by Luis Morales Ramos. He was a Puerto Rican troubadour and singer-songwriter. And so he wrote the song, and it became very popular in like the late 20th century. And now it's pretty much a staple during the holiday season. If you're ever in Puerto Rico, you might be able to hear it out on the streets. One of my favorite lines from this song, it's kind of has a cruel sense of humor. One of the verses talks about being in love and feeling so lucky. And then the next verse goes into, oh no, I found out that my beloved no longer loves me. And the writer says, you know, when I found out the news that you no longer loved me, even my dogs started laughing at me. And it's sort of this silly concept. Again, a lot of these songs kind of have a silliness or a sense of humor that I think is very much a part of Puerto Rican culture. This is Dame la mano paloma by Luis Morales Ramos. Dame la mano paloma para subir a tu nido. Dame la mano paloma para subir a tu nido. Que me han dicho que estás sola, que me han dicho que estás sola y acompañarte he venido. Que me han dicho que estás sola, que me han dicho que estás sola y acompañarte he venido. En el pueblito de Ciales hay una piedra bendita. En el pueblito de Ciales hay una piedra bendita. Que la vieja que se siente, que la vieja que se siente, amanece jovencita. Que la vieja que se siente, que la vieja que se siente, amanece jovencita. Dame la mano paloma para subir a tu nido. Dame la mano paloma para subir a tu nido. Que me han dicho que estás sola, que me han dicho que estás sola y acompañar venido. Que me han dicho que estás sola, que me han dicho que estás sola y acompañarte he venido. El día que me dijiste que tú ya no me querías, el día que me dijiste que tú ya no me querías, pues hasta la teja de casa, hasta la teja de casa me miraba y se reía. Pues hasta la teja de casa, hasta la teja de casa me miraba y se reía. Dame la mano, paloma, para subir a tu nido. Dame la mano, paloma, para subir a tu nido. Que me han dicho que estás sola, que me han dicho que estás sola y acompañarte venido. Que me han dicho que estás sola, que me han dicho que estás sola y acompañarte he venido. This is Boricua en la Luna. Desde las ondas del mar, que son besos en su orilla, una mujer de Aguadilla vino a New York a cantar, pero no solo a llorar, un largo llanto y morir, de ese llanto yo nací. Como en la lluvia una fiera y vivo en la larga espera de cobrar lo que perdí. Por un cielo que se hacía más feo, más volaba. A Nueva York se acercaba un peón de las Marías y con la esperanza decía de un largo día volver, pero antes me hizo nacer. Y de tanto trabajar se quedó sin regresar, reventó en un taller. Y de una lágrima soy hijo, y soy hijo del sudor, y fue en mi abuelo el amor único en mi regocijo, del recuerdo siempre fijo, en aquel cristal del llanto, como quimera en el canto. De un Puerto Rico de ensueño, y yo soy puertorriqueño sin nada, pero sin quebranto. Y al lechón que me desmienta, que se ande muy derecho, no sea él lo más estrecho de un zaguán, pague la afrenta. Pues según alguien me cuenta, dicen que la luna es una, sea del mar o sea montuna. Y así le grito al villano, yo sería borincano aunque naciera en la luna. Y así le grito al villano, yo sería borincano aunque naciera en la luna. Boricua en la Luna is a Puerto Rican song about being proud of your culture, and it's a patriotic song. It first was written as a poem, written by the poet Juan Antonio Corretjer. And Juan Antonio was a journalist, a poet, and he also was a political activist. He was working in the party that worked towards the independence of Puerto Rico for many years. And so in his poem, he's telling a story. He's telling the story of the Puerto Rican immigrant. He tells a story of so many Puerto Ricans that immigrated to New York City within the last half of the 20th century, what that journey is like. And he tells a story of his mother, of his own mother, who moved to New York to be a singer. And so the first verse of that song is about his mother, a woman from Aguadilla, moving to New York to sing. And then in the second verse of the poem, he talks about his father also moving to New York for a better life and to be able to have more work opportunities. At the same time, he talks about this yearning, this longing to be able to one day come back to the island and come back to your country, your roots, and how for so many Puerto Ricans, this is true, despite being so grateful for the opportunities that they might be able to have here in the States. There seems to often be this yearning to want to go back to the island. The poem has some beautiful imagery in the words. He talks about being the son of a teardrop and the son of sweat. He talks about the love of his grandfather. You know, he holds on to this vision of Puerto Rico as being like this paradise, this place that you always want to come back to, regardless of how long you've been in the United States on the mainland. And so, Boricua en la Luna, literally translated, means Puerto Rican on the moon. And he ends his poem saying that even if he was born on the moon, he would still feel like he was Puerto Rican. And the word Boricua comes from the word Borinquen. And Borinquen is what Puerto Rico was called by the indigenous people of the island. Before Columbus came to the Caribbean, the indigenous people of Puerto Rico are the Taino people, and they knew the island as Borinquen. And so you'll often hear that word in songs that are about Puerto Rican patriotism and pride. Boricua means that you are from Puerto Rico. So it's a song about having that pride of where you come from, and also a song that tells that story of immigration that so many Puerto Ricans carry with them. So the song Lamento Borincano is another song about patriotism and cultural pride, and it was written by Rafael Hernandez Marin. Rafael Hernandez also wrote another very famous Puerto Rican song called Preciosa, which speaks of the beauties and wonders of the island. In this song, in Lamento Borincano, he speaks of El Jibarito. El Jibarito is the iconic Puerto Rican agricultural person, Jibarito, Jibarita, for females. And so this is sort of an archetype in Puerto Rican culture that represents the countryman, the farm worker, the people that worked with the land, really made a life, a living, working with the land. And so you'll hear El Jibarito come up often in Puerto Rican stories and songs and in artwork. And in this song in particular, Rafael is telling the story of El Jibarito kind of around the time of the Great Depression, when Puerto Ricans were also feeling the effects of that, and there was lots of poverty and lots of struggle. And so he starts the song talking about how the farmer is coming from the countryside, he's coming down the mountain with his donkey, and he's feeling really optimistic, and he has this great harvest that he's going to go sell in the city at the market, at the farmer's market in the city. And he thinks to himself, if I can sell my entire harvest, I'll be able to buy my wife a new dress. And so he's filled with hope and positivity, and he's singing as he's walking down the path down to the city. And then in the second verse, Rafael describes that the farmer gets to the city, he gets to the market, and he sees that no one is there. It's kind of deserted, and there's no one there to buy his harvest. And actually people are begging, for food, and there's just poverty everywhere. His mood shifts completely, and he's filled with despair, and he thinks to himself, what is becoming of my island, what's becoming of Borinquen, and what will become of me and my family and my home. And so he ends up walking back to his home in a very different frame of mind and with a very different perspective. And yet this song still has this theme in it that despite the struggle, despite the hardships, there is this cultural pride. I think that's very true of Puerto Ricans on the island and also in the States, that there is this pride of where we come from and who we are. And so in the very last verse of the song, he speaks to this. The farmer says, despite this terrible situation that I'm in and not knowing what the future holds, I'll still sing a song for you, Borinquen. So he still wants to sing a song for his country. This is Lamento Borincano. Sale loco de contento con su cargamento para la ciudad, ahí, para la ciudad. Lleva en su pensamiento todo un mundo lleno de felicidad, ay, de felicidad. Piensa remediar la situación de su hogar, que es toda su ilusión, sí, y alegre. El jibarito va pensando así, diciendo así, cantando así por el camino. Si yo vendo la carga, mi Dios querido, un traje a mi viejita voy a comprar. Y alegre también su yegua va al presentir que el canto aquel es todo un himno de alegría. Y en esto le sorprende la luz del día y llegan al mercado de la ciudad. Pasa la mañana entera sin que nadie quiera su carga comprar, ay, su carga comprar. Todo está desierto, el pueblo está muerto de necesidad, ay, por donde quiera. En su desdichada Borinquen y triste el jibarito va pensando así, diciendo así, llorando así por el camino. ¿Qué será de mi Borinquen, mi Dios querido? ¿Qué será de mis hijos y de mi hogar? Borinquen, la tierra del Edén, la que al cantar el gran Gautier llamó la perla de los mares. Ahora que tú te mueres con tus pesares, déjame que te cante yo también. Déjame que te cante yo también. Thank you so much to the Vermont International Festival for having me. I appreciate being able to share these songs and these stories with all of you.
I love strudel. Norbert Ender's going to show us how to put one together. If you're interested in having a strudel this weekend or in the next few days, go to our website, click on the food button, and order one. I'm sure that Norbert's going to make enough that there'll be one for you.
Hello there, my name is Norbert, and I'm gonna be making some apple strudels for you guys today. And first, getting these beautiful apples from, what are they called? Windfall Orchard in near Middlebury, Vermont. They're all organic heirloom apples, and then they're going to be mixed in with some organic raisins, some real vanilla, some Caribbean rum, a few breadcrumbs, cinnamon, and some other secret ingredients. And then we're going to be spreading out some dough later on and roll up some beauties. Some nice looking apples. Some fabulous cinnamon, some vanilla, and a little bit of rum. Some breadcrumbs to bind it all a little bit together and absorb some of the juice that's going to come out of the apples. And a little bit of sugar just to kind of round off the flavor a little bit. building here. I'm a chef by trade, so back in Austria, did a 4-year program and worked in various hotels and restaurants throughout Europe, Switzerland, Austria mainly, and then New York. And ended up in Vermont, and here I am. It's a traditional Austrian dessert, actually strudel in general, so there can be any variety of, there can be savory, sweet, all kinds of different strudels that are available. Cheese strudel, like cherries inside, and one of my favorite. And then a good old standard apple strudel. Fall goes with the season, and I guess here in Vermont, being the predominant agricultural product, lends itself to for me to play around with apples once every so often. And everybody seems to like it. So we get the filling ready. I pre-made the doughs already last night. I like to do that the day before for the gluten to really kind of relax, and then it's much easier to spread it. People are always surprised how thin this thing gets, but it's actually pretty easy to do. So don't be intimidated. And worst case scenario, just keep trying until you get it. Alright, so we're going to be stretching some of that dough that I've already prepared. That takes a few steps. In order to keep the dough elastic and pliable, we're going to just keep putting a little oil on there. And then just from the edges. So you stretch the thing until it starts to resist a little bit, and then you give it a little bit of rest. So you let it sit for a few minutes until the gluten relaxes again. So every time you work dough, whether it's bread dough or noodle or whatever, once you start working a little bit, it'll fight you. And then give it a little minute, distract it, and once it's relaxed again, then you can move on to the next. Just keep working it until again you hit that resistance. So not to tear it, just let it relax a little bit, and then it'll work with you. Once we get the dough stretched out, then you're gonna. I like to add a little bit of butter actually for flavor. So then again to. Very, very tiny layer of breadcrumbs. And then already. And then Sure. First thing onto a voila, first one of the season. Okay, first apple strudel ready to go. About 350, 375, depends on the oven. About half hour, about 35, 40 minutes. Once they cool down a little bit, we're just gonna put some powdered sugar on it, slice them, and serve them with some vanilla ice cream, vanilla sauce, or just some classic whipped cream. And enjoy.